Kia ora whānau, my name's Mana Harrison. I'm from Southland in Chicago. I'm currently a functional fitness gym owner and run classes every day. And I'm also a trauma-informed facilitator at Southland Help. In the past, I've been a probation officer, have supported people with a disability, intellectual disability, and I used to be a semi-professional rugby player for many years. I've traveled the world with rugby. And I'm a father of two and a husband and a son of my amazing mum. Wow. And it kind of like made me realize that, yeah, I want to help people, but do I actually know how to help people the best way I possibly can? And to do that, I need to understand, I suppose, the science behind what's going on with people at times, And so my heart was there, wanted to help people, but then I suppose it was in a bit of a, well, how do I say it? A bit of a place that was like, where to from here? Yeah, I want to help people. I'm in the people business, but how can I best help people even more? But lucky enough, I had the support of both managers at Southland Help saying, Mana, you're going to be really good at this. I'm signing up. Do you want to jump on board? And I can honestly sit here and look you right in the eyes and say this has been a life changing program or course. I really linked in with the autonomic nervous system, limbic system, and the survival. That there was like, wow, I can link so much into people's behaviors around that, and that's what really got me saying, wow, I'm here. I love this part, and because because when you get to know and understand more about the science behind behaviors and feelings and trauma, and it makes you curious around other, like the last 20 years and every different engagement you have with people as a probation officer. Why were these guys always angry at me? And I'm like, whoa, hold up. I can link that into adverse childhood experiences, and I'm like, well, this is all they know. They're in their survival mode a lot of the times, and they're always fighting. And I was a probation officer for 5 years, and I was never really linked into this as much. So that and knowing the difference between your parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight, freeze, or please, knowing that fundamental around the brain, you become curious around people's behaviors, and you're not so reacted to them. Like, when you see a bad behavior, you're like, oh, that person's just bad behavior. They're friggin' angry. They must be raised wrong. Or that person, oh, they've had a tough life. They're just angry at everyone. I've stopped all that. I see a behavior that maybe is an angry behavior or sad behavior, and I'm curious around what's going on for them to show this, because behind the behavior there's an emotion, and that's what I wish everyone could understand moving forward. Is behind a behavior, no matter what behavior it is, there's got to be an emotion. You look and address that emotion, and you'll help that behavior. And so that got me sold, and since then I've done a lot of my own personal research around different ways of and different resources and tools around regulation, self-regulating, helping people get out of that survival mode and be in that more relaxed and rest mode, and in a titration way and a pendulation, like small steps, and if they feel uncomfortable, come back to it. I do that with my fire order, tangata fire order now, and just knowing that part sets you up a great starting point for your fire order and getting to know them. And yeah, so that there and the safe. Everyone talks about the brave and safe space, and I love the fact that this brave space they talk about. It's a very simple word, two words, brave space. But underneath that, there is so much importance around what a brave space is. And people say you invite them in and say, right, I want to create a brave space for this. it can take up to 3 to 4 months, if not longer, to create that space for our tangi te whai ora, or the people we work with who are going through their trauma journey. It can't be rushed, and that's one thing I learned from I suppose the program. You can't rush trauma recovery or journey. You can't rush people. You can't put a time frame on it. You've got to treat every individual as an individual. Not all tools suit everyone. Not all resources they will align with or link with. And as a trauma-informed facilitator now, my responsibility and role and my allyship is to always look for new ways to help people deal with trauma regulation, self-regulation, up-regulation, down-regulation, and think outside of the square of the normal Western society around dealing with trauma talk therapy. And I've definitely put that into play with my contract work at Southland Help. So I am a trauma reform specialist for people who've been sexually abused. And since that training, I have just excelled as a I suppose trauma reform facilitator, and I'm actually thinking more around the individual versus putting everyone in a square. I suppose one thing I would say prior to anyone thinking about doing this training, that if you do want to address and if you want to change the way you see life in a better aspect, if you want to have the tools and resources to help people going through their trauma, and be a better person for yourself and your family and the people around you, sign up to this program. Honestly, that's all I'd say. You get science behind trauma, but also it makes you a better person and dealing with stuff in a really nice way that maybe you don't know that you needed to deal with. So even though this is good for people going through their, like, moving forward with their professional life, it's also a great way to look at self and reconnect with self.